because we're gonna do another one just to show you guys. Today I'm actually gonna start working on the Mr. Machine. We built this thing back in it's like late 2019, early 2020, and it's been running since then without issues. We have to like basically go back to it now and fix some problems that we had in the with it. Basically, we couldn't do in time just because we had to build a car like so fast. One of the biggest issues we had was the oil pan. It sat way too low, so you couldn't ride anyone in it because you'd be driving the oil pan on the floor. So we're gonna put a new oil pan on it. We have to do fix the intercooler piping, redo the exhaust, clean the injectors, and then retune it so you can actually do sicker burnouts. So as you can tell, oil pan is really, really bad. So this thing's really messed up. Lucky it hasn't leaked yet. Other than that, in here, I mean, doesn't look too bad, but we're gonna change that alternator to an FD one. Fix whatever oil leaks. I don't know where that coming from, the oil leak. The exhaust has to be redone because you can see it's touching the exhaust when you turn the tires all the way. This up top, you don't know if you can see that well, but up there, it's supposed to have a bucket plate that fell out somewhere, and now it's leaking, basically it's leaking gas. And then take down the alternator. Is it has no bolt. That's just completely gone on it. So like it's still on there. Figure out what all this like mess is. You can see it's just like really caked up, really nasty up here. And then the intercooler piping. Cause right now, that shit blew off. You can see it's not even under connected. So I have a lot of things to fix on this thing, and not a lot of times I'm just gonna get on it, change the oil pan on first, and start from there. We're actually gonna go with a billet oil pan on this thing, just because of ride height, to make sure like the factory was one clear. We're gonna put a billet oil pan. I just came in, so I'm gonna show you guys what basically we got for this thing. So this thing is made for an RX-8. It's one of the new oil pans that Elite's making now. So sadly, as nice as it looks, I am gonna have to cut it to make it match this engine, but we'll make it look just as nice once it's done. And on this, now we have basically the oil return on here. The first thing I'm gonna do is basically drain the oil. Not sure when the last time they changed the oil on this thing was, so we're gonna drain the oil on it, take the oil pan off, and then see how it fits up with it. Ready? Yeah, that shit's gross.
E5 juice.
So luckily, no metal, but oil basically was starting to eat up the paint in the oil pan. So E85 is super corrosive, so you don't want to let it sit for too long, because it'll do shit like this. Basically the difference between the RX-8 and the older 13B. So everything in the back bolts up perfectly until right here. So the front cover is different. So after the front cover, you can see it comes out more. This is almost the same, but over here is missing this corner. And we're hitting the oil pressure basically really for the front of the engine. So gonna have to basically cut this out to clear the regulator, and then see how I can get this to fit without cutting too much in here. But I just re-drill it a little bit, but over here I'm out that material to cover that whole corner. So, okay, so since the whole thing is basically RX-7 all the way to the back, the first cut I'm doing is gonna cut straight from here all the way across to here, and then move this piece forward pretty much. Alright, so I put the oil pan back into the car now. You can see it has a lot of clearance. It actually matches the rear, so the height, so it's pretty good. Had to cut it off because this thing was hitting. This was hitting, so now it's gonna clear. So I have to re-drill the holes for the front. So it's gonna be like that, and that one might, I don't know, I might fix it, I might not, we'll see. Because see, it's only like half an inch of gap that I can just fill in with the welder inside on both sides, and the oil pan will work. So I'm gonna clean it up, really drill holes, basically re-drill these holes so it matches, and tack it, bring it outside, weld it, and it's pretty much, it was a really easy mod, and it looks way cooler now too. Alright, so bolted the oil pan to the engine, found the gap I needed on both sides. So now I just cleaned it up, and I just have to basically just weld it up and put it back in the car. Sadly, I am cutting up this nice billet oil pan because it's not made for this engine, not yet. We're on a time constraint, so this is basically the best I can do about it, so don't judge me too much. Alright, so only got to weld half of it and ran out of gas, so now I have to basically go get the gas tomorrow. I like that oil pan, Mike.
I like it. It's gonna give us all the clearance. So low profile, billet, so if he hits anything, nothing's gonna happen really.
Yeah, we're not trying to hit anything now.
Yeah, but we're not gonna hit anything. Right now it's higher than the manifold.
Hey,
and it's higher.
no, don't point that out. I was looking at it.
And it's higher than the.
Look at that shit. Like the manifold's the lowest shit now, but at least the manifold is really thick, so it shouldn't break.
Yeah, and it's higher than the oil pan for the training. So we're good there. So now we just gotta make an oil line.
What's your thoughts on that?
On the what?
No, I haven't shown the exhaust yet, so what's your thoughts on it? Is it ignorant or what is it?
Yeah, there's a high possibility that the windshield's gonna break.
So now it comes this way, keeps falling under the car, comes this way over the car. We gotta cut that out, and what do we call this?
It's not hood mount, hood exit, so it's
technically you could call it a wiper mount.
a wiper.
Yeah,
A wiper exit.
Wiper exit is literally, I use the wiper as a bracket.
So we can't use a wiper motor anymore.
Cletus said he wants it up. That counts as up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know about you, but that's pretty up there. So he wanted flames. He wanted the exhaust up. There you go.
We still gotta move these wires.
You're going with the wires, and we gotta wrap.
The relays already got relocated up. We went ahead and got this alternator pulley from Elite Rotary. So they make a pulley where you can use a 93 RX-7 alternator, and you can use it on an older like RX-7 like pulley style. So this alternator has 60 amps, and we have oil coolers, we have trans coolers, we have coolant, like the coolant fan, the water pump, we have the coils, the ECU. We have so much getting drawn out of the 60 amp right here, so we're gonna put a 140 amp alternator. Pretty much is like the FD alternator. Like they come pretty beefed up. This pulley is specially made for us to be able to use it. So the FD alternator uses a cog style belt, and we're just gonna make it V belt now.
Well, I did the exhaust and the oil pan, so you're gonna finish it up by doing the alternator,
the oil line, and we gotta weld the exhaust.
Well, I'm gonna weld the exhaust. You got tune it still, right?
Yeah, we gotta tune it.
I'm gonna tune it. We're gonna play rock paper scissors, right? What's that?
It's 2 out of 3 though.
Not 2 out of 3 shit.